Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Should You Pull for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Now today we're going to be talking about Rydia, who is an extremely popular character from Final Fantasy IV, but her banner is going to be a little bit of an interesting one to look at. I'm going to just spoil this now. Her banner mates are colossally bad in Shadow and Yang as of right now, so whether this banner is going to be worth pulling for is going to be a really difficult conversation to have with a lot of people who are big fans of this character because her banner mates are so bad. And is Rydia going to be enough to make this banner worth pulling for the masses, or is it going to be a banner that we finally get to recuperate some of our resources on after the gargantuans of people like Zack and Sarah and Vayne? If you want to find out more about Rydia, then stay tuned and keep on watching. As I always say at the beginning of every video, don't forget to check out all of the links in the description box below for all of my social media links. That's Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, and all that other good stuff. And I particularly encourage you to have a look at my Twitch channel, where, as you can see on the right hand side here, is my regular streaming schedule. So if you want to come and chat to me about Opera Omnia or FFTCG or anything that I happen to be playing at that time, then definitely come and check me out. And also don't forget to check out DissidiaDB.com, which is where I get all of my resources from when it comes to my Should You Pull videos. And of course, don't forget to check out all of the other Opera Omnia content creators that are out there, as there's plenty of us and we all work really hard to bring you guys as much information as we can. So while it's great that we have like a full FF4 themed banner, we're going to start by talking about Yang and Shadow. We'll start with Yang in particular. This character is not good. I'm just going to say that now. And I'm really sorry to anyone who's a big fan of any of these characters, but I never like to say that a character is outright bad, but trust me, you are not pulling on this banner to get Yang stuff. The best thing I can say about Yang is that he has an AoE Brave HP attack that with kick that he has to have used focus first to get. And he, and even then it's only half decent if you have his 35 CP weapon, because if focus makes it so that it doesn't take as long, he gets a larger attack up. If you get his 15 CP, then you get a slight HP damage increase. I think it goes to 50% of the damage to non-targets with his kick plus. It's not good. There isn't an awful lot else going for him. We have characters that have AoE Brave HP attacks a dime a dozen, some that don't even need their EX weapons like Freya. And to have Yang come into the fray now, so late in the game when we're just about to get level 70 awakenings and reworks and things like that, Yang is just not going to cut the mustard for you. And unfortunately, the same thing applies to Shadow, who is also, as of right now at least, a terrible character. He doesn't do anything very well. As much as it's lovely to sit there and look at Interceptor, his dog, we're not going to see that for a very long time. And when we do, he comes back on a banner with his EX Plus that's much, much stronger, and I really wouldn't worry about getting hold of Shadow stuff right now. The best thing about Shadow is that he has an attack that can ignore defense, so that he has a throw. After he uses Wild Throw and breaks something, he then gets a Brave attack that doesn't have an HP attack attached to it that can ignore defense. And that's pretty much all he really has. Everything else is just regular Brave attacks. He gets... Wild Throw turns into a Brave HP attack, but it's basically a strictly worse version of Setsu's red card. It doesn't do 9 hits, it only does 6, so it only does 2 HP attacks, not 3. It doesn't have the delay part of red card. So basically what Shadow is just a pretty pants version of Setsu. So I'm really sorry to say it, but he's pretty rubbish too. So now we come over to Rydia, who is obviously the focal point of this banner, and she is the very last character from the level 50 era to finally get her level 60 awakening. So what she has in her base kit is she has just a Brave HP attack that's basic, she has a group water-based magic attack that gives a little bit of buffs. If you have her weapons, then she gets slightly more buffs, but she most importantly gets Water Enchant across the party, and then it gives her a Brave attack plus as well if you have her 35 CP weapon. And then her Crystal Awakening is not bad, it's not terrible. The best way to compare Rydia is like a water version of Lulu. If you really like the way that Lulu plays, and she plays very heavily into the kind of the imperil system, like I'm going to enchant my party with one element and then imperil that same element so I'm doing more damage, Rydia is very similar to that, except instead of fire, she does it for water. So Flare becomes a very simple Brave HP attack with 120% Brave max Brave overflow, which is nice. It's not too bad. She gets a fair few uses out of it, so yeah, that's going to be nice. But Summon Leviathan becomes a much better attack because it becomes an AoE Brave HP attack, which is great. We always like those. It has 150% max Bravery overflow, so it's quite similar to Freya's Dragon's Breath, except it doesn't have the focus damage and split. All of the damage is split evenly, which is, in my opinion, slightly less potent. But it's still she still has two Brave HP attacks, one which is single target, one which is AoE, which is solid. It's nice to have. And then obviously, because this is the attack that also enchants the party with water, there is that to that element as well. But we're also missing one half of Lulu. Like I said, she's a character that imperils the element in one way and then enchants the party with that same element in order to capitalise on that imperil. But we don't see any imperiling coming from Rydia here, so where must it be? It must be part of her EX weapon, so let's have a look at that. So as we can see with the Mystic Whip, it's really very important if you're going to use Rydia to get her EX if you're going to use her at all. Because it gives her an aura. Like if you limit break it twice, you get an aura called Power to Overcome, which raises all parties' max Brave and attack, which are the two stats you want to increase realistically. And then the actual attack itself is a 5-hit group magic based Brave HP attack that ignores defense, and that's actually quite a nice little extra to have on there, that it ignores defense, because there aren't many attacks that do that currently. It also deals 100% HP damage to every target that it hits, which is great, and then it also reduces the water resistance of the targets it hits. This is what Rydia is trying to do. So Rydia, as I said earlier, is a much more damaging version of Lulu that doesn't require like the stacks mentality like Lulu does, but she does require an EX weapon to do it because you need to get that water resist down to take advantage of the water enchantment that she gives by summoning Leviathan. It also really winds me up that this ability is called Summon Dragon and not Summon Mist Dragon, because it's very clearly Mist Dragon that she uses when she uses this attack. And Mist Dragon is cool and they're not doing it due justice. But so Rydia, Rydia doesn't have an EX Plus in Japan right now, so there's no way to look at what her future's going to look like. But I would assume that when it does come, it will get quite an exponential buff because it's very late into the Chaos era now. Pretty sure we're actually just about to move into the next era over. So if Rydia's going to get anything, she might want to get it pretty soon. With regards to returning banners for Rydia, the only banner I can find that appears to have Rydia's EX weapon return on it is a Golden Week banner, which as you can see here returns with Ace's EX weapon. But Golden Week is a celebration that is held in Japan that we don't actually celebrate over in the West at all. So it's very unlikely that we'll actually get these banners at all. So if you really want Rydia, if you're a really big fan of her, she certainly isn't a bad character. But if you really want her, you're probably gonna want to grab her now rather than have to wait however long it is going to be before you actually manage to get hold of her. Just before I finish and end this video, once again a massive shout out to Inkwelder and the Tom Retreat for this wonderful Rydia infographic that you can see here. And as I did actually fail to mention a couple of things when it came to Rydia's ability at the beginning, in that her Summon Leviathan ability gives a party-wide max bravery buff, so ultimately when you factor in the buff from that, as well as the buff from her EX, you actually get 40% attack and 80% max bravery, all told throughout everything that she has, which is quite a lot when you think about it in terms of what you get from just Rydia. But ultimately, she just doesn't keep up with characters to the level 70 era, so with a character this close to the level 70 era, is she somebody that you really want to invest loads of stuff in? And, she is locked to water, so there are going to be some events where she's just not going to be able to do anything, much like Lulu, but obviously you change the word fire for the word water, and everything that would apply to Lulu would also apply to Rydia. But she is very good with dealing a lot of damage and helping your characters deal a lot more damage by targeting an imperiled weakness. That is really useful, and she can, give max bravery across the board. So Sarah, as anyone who's tried farming for her artifacts knows, has a bit of a problem with max bravery, and Rydia can help that. But there are a lot of characters that can help that. Like Vayne has a max bravery buff, Sarah herself has max bravery buffs. There are lots of characters that can do that. So do I think that Rydia is bad? Absolutely not. But whether I think that this banner is worth pulling on for Rydia is questionable. So all in all, do I think that Rydia's banner is worth pulling on? I think it's fairly safe to say that I'm of the opinion that it's not a particularly good banner and that I wouldn't recommend pulling on this one. If I was going to pull on a banner this week, it would have been the Lael and School banner to try and get Lael's EX. But there are arguments to be had that later on in the Chaos era, Imperils and things like that are going to become much more relevant, and that's true. However, I think that there are characters that are much safer to grab over the course of time than Rydia, and by the time that that's relevant, you're going to want a character with an EX+, and not a character like Rydia that just doesn't have one. You've got Lulu's EX+, if you want some sort of enchant / imperil. You have Shantotto's EX+, which literally imperils every single element. And if I'm going to pick an imperil character, it's more than likely going to be her, because while Shantotto's not great now, she certainly gets a lot better later on. But Rydia's banner mates are downright laughable at this point in the game, unfortunately. Shadow gets good later, but that's literally only just happened in JP, so I really wouldn't worry too much about Shadow anytime soon. And even with Yang's EX Plus when he gets it, he's still an underwhelming character, so I really wouldn't worry too much about Shadow and Yang. And Rydia, while nice, I would value the gems and the tickets and stuff that I got from her Lost Chapter more than I would probably use her. And it upsets me to say that, because I know that there are an awfully large number of fans of Rydia out there, so if you do pull for her, I do wish you the best of luck and that you don't pull too much of the other two and you get Rydia quickly, because you're not going to be able to use her for a great deal of time, you know, because there's just going to be so many other characters come out. They're going to get their level 70 awakenings, Noctis will get his rework and completely eclipse everybody, Warrior of Light will get his rework and completely eclipse everybody, and by the time the Imperil meta actually matters, there are going to be characters that you'd use over Rydia anyway. So I hope that this video has helped you guys make a decision on whether to pull on Rydia's banner or not this time around, and if you do, as I said, I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out all of the social media links in the description box below. Sound off in the comments. Are you going to pull for Rydia? Do you think that I'm completely way off base and that I've not done the character justice? Let me know in the comments and tell me what you think. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications on whenever one of my videos is coming out. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I shall see you all soon. Bye!